morning, everybody. It is Friday, July 4th. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So if you're in the U.S., happy 4th of July. If you're in other places, happy Friday. This is my normal knitting vlog format, so I have no idea what I'm trying to say. Basically, I'm going to talk to you about finished objects, whips, new cast-ons, acquisitions, all that. That's it. So, all right, let's jump in, shall we? I was not going to record today because of the holiday, but then I was like, just go ahead and record because people are probably wondering, did you really cast on those 500 things for Christmas in July that you had talked about in the last episode? I can tell you that no, I did not. I cast on a few things, but not all of them. So that's where we are right now. All right, let's talk about finished objects. I have one finished Musselburgh hat. Look at that. This is for my husband for his birthday, which is not until October, so I'm ahead of the game already. This is, I knit it with, one, it's Uzola Teague's pattern. I knit it with Trailing Clouds Nimbus self-striping sock yarn. There it is. Pretty cool. I used a size 3 needle, and I followed advice from Mandy at Mandy Von Knits, and I knit until I had about 10 grams of yarn left, and then I started doing the decreases, and it's the perfect hat. I almost don't want to give it to him. He's already seen it. He's tried it on. Everyone's seen it. Everyone's like, ooh, cool hat. It just is. Look at that. So many beautiful colors in that hat. It has the perfect amount of slouch. I'm not going to put it on because it's not my hat. Actually, because my hair is kind of damp, so I don't want to mess with it. Yeah, it is just that perfect amount of slouch that you can get rid of by folding over the brim if you want, or you can wear it slouchy. And I used a 100-gram skein of yarn, and I only had 3 grams left. That's not even enough to like knit a little bunting thing. Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that, but that's all right. It was well worth it. Very happy about it. It's been blocked. I did have a scary moment when I was blocking it. I had blocked it, and when I went to lay it out on the blocking mats, I noticed that this end had come loose. So I was dropping stitches. So I just let it sit there and dry, and then when it was totally dry, I went back in and I just stitched it back up. It's not the best, but it's pretty passable. So yeah. All right, so that was stash yarn. So we're saying that was 100 grams out of my stash because I don't know what I'm doing with that 3 grams, but I'm not counting it, so yay me. So, all right, one finished object. It's going in my box that I have set aside for Christmas knits. So I'll put that in there. It's not Christmas, obviously. It's my husband's birthday, but I'll just keep it in there anyways. All right, let's go on to... we'll do whips first, and then we'll do the new cast-ons. So, whips. I did not finish this. I'll tell you up front. I did not get as much knitting done as I would have liked to this past week. I was just busy with work, and I had a short work week, and I had a lot to get done, and it was just not conducive to knitting as much. So, there we go. All right. So I'm knitting out of this Knit It Wild Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. I am knitting Charlie the chimpanzee. Charlie is done. He's actually right there. Right there he is. His pants are done, his shirt's done. I'm working on his jacket, and I did, yes, someone here mentioned it. I did think about using self-striping yarn, but then I was like, I have all this yarn, I might as well just use it, right? So I've cast it on, and right now I have this tangled mess, but I know what's going on here, so it's not as bad as it looks. I just need to untangle it. Basically, you keep this red, the red color, it's backwards, sorry. You keep the red attached while you're knitting because let me start that over. You keep the red is going up the side of the jacket on both sides. So this is the hoodie part of the jacket, and you have to keep the red attached. So I am knitting the red from the inside and the outside. So it's attached at both points, at this end and this end. Yes, I know this is hideous looking, but trust me, I know what's going on here. And then in between, you're changing colors. So that's why it is such a tangled mess. I would have liked to finish this week. Obviously, it didn't happen. And hang on, I gotta dip down, just wait. Okay, I dropped a ball of yarn. I would like to finish it because I, of course, have another cast on from this book that I will be talking about briefly in a bit. So, yeah, I did not get that going as much as I wanted, but it's just his little hoodie, so it shouldn't take me too long. I just really need to, like, I don't know, like, do nothing but knit all day. I did that yesterday and it still didn't work, so what can I say? All right, next up, you will remember, this is a hoe, but this was from a few weeks ago. I'm knitting on my vanilla, it's basically a Fleegle heel vanilla sock that I'm making up as I go. I mean, it's pretty basic, yeah. Okay, this is Freckled Whimsy yarn. It's the Snow Coast, or Sunshine and Snow Cone colorway. I bought this after, it was a monthly yarn, and then she had some extras, so I bought it after the fact. Well, hold on, let me get it here. I am on the second sock, and I kind of made a little mistake last night, so I need to rip out. I was on the heel, so I got the foot, and this is for me. So I got the foot done, and then I was doing the heel, and I was like, something's not adding up here. I still have stitches over here. Yeah, so I need to rip the heel out, and I need to work on that. I should not knit late at night because this is what happens. So I'm going to rip the heel out today. I'm going to redo the heel, and then once the heel is done, the rest of it will go very quickly. So hopefully next week I'll be able to do another lucky dip sock yarn, reach in the bag type thing. You know what I'm saying. All right, so that is with number 2, and I am the Fleegle heel I like, but I am trying a new heel, and that is the one that I am doing on my friend Brooke's sock. So this is, it started out as the DRK Everyday Sock by Andrea Mowry, and then my friend Brooke, who lives in Oklahoma, was here, and so she came. She's actually best friends with my daughter-in-law, but she's my friend now too. But she was here, so I had her try on a bunch of different socks with different heels that I was in the process of knitting, and the one that fit her the best was this sock, but I wanted to do a different heel. So this is the German short row heel. There it is. It seems to fit, well, one, I like it a lot better. I'm gonna try it on a pair of socks for me, but it seems to fit Brooke better. So we're gonna go with this for these. So the yarn is Hue Loco. The colorway is, well, it was a mini set, the Take Flight collection. It was all these colors, and including that pink or magenta, I guess you'd call it, magenta. But then I used this larger ball, which was from the same collection, but a different sock set. I think this is You've Got Me Humming, pretty sure. I'm gonna knit socks out of this, but I had plenty, so I just use it for the heel because it looks good, so, and it does. So there it is. Brooke's, I think her foot size is maybe an 8 or so. So mine is 9, so I'm just kind of basing it off of my foot. But I was able to measure her foot so I can get some better get a better fitting socks. So, all right, so that's whip number 3. Yeah. Okay. Whip number 4. Okay, and this may look like I didn't do a whole lot, but I did. I am actually totally not attached to anything. This was a whip from last summer, exactly a year ago. This is the color Poportunity sock by Stephen West, and hold on. Here is the one that I finished. Yes, I finished this last year. And then here is the second one so far. So I'm getting ready. This is actually the cuff of it. I'm getting ready to connect it all, so the leg will be done, and then I'll do the heel. So it's, again, didn't get much done, but I did, well, I shouldn't say that. I did get much done. I had just finished, what did I finish? I believe it was this row, that color ridge right there, the last time I saw you, but don't quote me on that. And so I finished all that, and then I had to go back. There was a provisionary cast on. I had to go pick that out and pick up these stitches. So now I've got 2 sets of needles on here, and we're getting ready to, you know, attach it all. So this yarn is, I can never remember the yarn name. Let's see if I can, yes, I have it, good, hang on. It is Dark Omen Yarns. This is Italian yarn, Italian dyer, and it is 75.25. It's just a beautiful yarn, I love it. Stephen is just launched his next mystery or surprise Sox-A-Long sock pattern. Did he? I guess he hasn't launched it yet. It's gonna start coming out at the end of this month, but he's launched the kits, so you can buy the kits. I'm not buying a kit, I don't think. You know how I am. No, I'm not gonna buy a kit. I really don't need any more sock yarn. All right, I'll buy more sock yarn, but I don't really, I feel like I should just finish this sock and move on. So that's what I'm doing. All right, no clue where we are on the number of whips. All right, what else? Let's see, do I have anything in there that you have? Oh, okay. We have now hit the cast-ons, the new cast-ons. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I ended up casting on for Christmas in July. I had a list. If you watched my last episode, it was all the things I wanted to cast on. A lot of you were like, wow, that's really ambitious. I'm not totally crazy. I didn't cast them all on yet. I was going to start with 4 things. I only cast on 3, mainly because I just didn't have time to do the cast-ons. And as you'll see, I didn't have time to do much knitting on them. But I did get 3 of them cast on, so let's talk about those. The other ones will, as I clear things off my needles, I will cast on others from the list. So I'll be mostly knitting from that list from now until the end of the year, we hope. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know, the whole thing, I'm doing Christmas in July with Karen at Recreational Knitting and a few other people. Oh, Diane at My Pink Bathtub. A bunch of people are doing it, but Karen is doing it based off of Yarn and Yarns, I believe. I think her name is Andrea, but don't trust me on that. Might have it wrong. But she does this thing where the last part, in December after Christmas, she casts on 12 things, 12 projects that she's going to work on for the rest of the year. And so Karen was like, that's what she's basing hers on. I was tempted. And I actually was like, I could do that in December. I could cast on 12 things and then I could knit on them all year. I still might do that. I'm not sure that I won't. But I also know that usually I get overwhelmed if I have too many whips. So we'll see. Not gonna say one way or the other. All right, the one thing that I did do that I had the most knitting done, because it was easy knitting, I'm knitting a dishcloth. I just started it, so it's not huge, but there it is, okay. I'm using a pattern by, hang on, I gotta look it up. My iPad's right here, so let me look it up really quick. But everyone who is coming for Christmas at our, I call it the compound. It's between my house and my stepson's house, who lives just down the street. Anyone who's coming for Christmas Eve, basically, we do Christmas Eve. Between the two houses, we'll be getting one of these. It does have a choice 4-letter word and someone's name on it. And the pattern is by Dana Rachel. There are a lot of patterns out there for the same thing, so you can find other patterns. But this one, I believe, was free, so that's why I grabbed it. But this is Knit Picks Dishy, and very easy knit. I've knit like, this is my third one. One of them my husband already has. And then I'm gonna basically knit for everybody in our family. So there's quite a bit, and I need to pick up the pace here and stop messing around with these. So, and yes, I do have some family members who support a certain president, and they're getting one too. I don't care. So they know, like, I'm not quiet about my opposition. So yeah, they know. All right, and they know why I am against him. So they don't say anything, and I just quietly go like this when I'm around them. But this time I'm gonna say a little something by giving them a dishcloth. Okay, next up we have, sorry, I have to get back to my notes. Next up, I am knitting. This one actually, I showed you the yarn last week in my video, but I'm going to show it to you again. This is the Botanic pattern by Stephen West. It is a sock pattern. It's very simple, but I'm knitting it for my husband. And then a part of this yarn will also be used for a sock for my grandson. So this is my husband's Christmas sock. And check out what happened to the yarn. It exploded. All right, so this is Skepshi's Arcadia, and I don't think there's a colorway. It's number 804. Yeah, this thing exploded, like I said. This is the main color, and it is, so far, all I've done with it is the cuff. It's a 2x2 rib, easy. But I showed him the main color. Like, I'm not trying to keep this a secret from him because he's gonna have to try it on, right? So I showed him the main color I'd picked out that I'd shown you last week. And then I showed him another ball of yarn, and I was like, pick it. Like, which one of these two yarns do you want? They were both Zobber balls, and he picked this one. So it's different than the one that I showed you. But I'm glad he picked this one because it's beautiful. It would have made a beautiful other item too, but this was just a cool color. And I don't know, hang on, let me see. Put my glasses on, my reading glasses, they're dirty. It is number, well, let's see here. Shabble Zobberball. It appears to be number, maybe 1153, maybe, yeah. I don't know why I want to say this is like tropical fish color, like that somehow connected with this game. I don't know. All right, so this was in my stash. What, all my stuff that I cast on, I'm trying to think. The Dishy was in my well, not really. The Dishy I bought this year, but this has been in my stash for like 2 years, so that was good. This I had to buy. I keep laughing every time I look at this since it exploded. Yeah, but I'm trying to get things out of my stash. Anyway, so I did cast on, and then I've cast it on. You can see I've just started with the multicolor, and it's fairly easy knitting. It is like basically a bunch of slip stitches, so it looks complicated, but it's not. So it's really hot, so I'm kind of sweaty. Sorry. Who else is hot? Raise your hand. I know there's certain people here. Carla, I know you're probably cold because you're experiencing winter in New Zealand. Not here. Okay, so yes, that is my husband's Christmas sock. It's gonna get done, trust me. All right, the next one. Is this the last one? Yes, this is the last Christmas in July I cast on. And this one I actually had quite a bit more done, but I ripped it out last night. I noticed him, like I was off, and I was like, I want to get this right, so I'm gonna make sure if it's off, I'm gonna start it again. So I'm not even gonna attempt to say this. I want to say, well, okay, I want to say it's Croieile brioche contrast cowl. I'm not sure. You know, it has a bunch of I's and E's in it. So I'm gonna put it down there, okay? Hang on, I'm gonna look and tell you who the pattern is. And the pattern, very simple, okay? It includes a link to Unapologetic Knitter's website, and she did a whole series on how to knit brioche. And so it links to that, so you can go to that to get instruction. And otherwise, it's a very simple pattern. The pattern is by Leonie Thornley, and it's a free pattern, so you should go check it out. It's very clear. I mean, I did not feel like I needed a whole lot of hand-holding, but I did. So it was really nice that the instructions included the link to the videos that the Unapologetic Knitter had done. So this is all I got so far. Actually, I had about maybe a 1/4 inch of brioche done, and I was like, oh, this is off the colors. Like, because I'm doing contrasting colors, I'm doing this with the pink, I knew it was off, I could tell. So I was like, just, you're not far enough along, just rip it out and start over. So there I am, yes. Not a lot to show you, but that is for my sister for Christmas. I'm knitting it in Puzzle Tree Yarns, this beautiful skein, look at that, that's gorgeous. And Knitting for Olive, okay. It's going, saying it's going well, and I only really have the cast on done. But as far as brioche, it's going well in the sense that I haven't done a lot of brioche in a few years, and it's coming back to me. So, and I think as I'm maturing as a knitter, it's making more sense to me now. My goal is to also get to the point in my brioche knitting where I can fix brioche, and I'm really like, I've got like a video on how to fix brioche, so when I need to fix it without just ripping it all out, then I will learn how to fix it. So that was my biggest obstacle, and a lot of people say that, you know, that they just don't like brioche because they don't know how to fix it, and that's a legit thing. So, but I'm gonna learn how to fix it, okay? All right, so that was it of the Christmas in July cast-ons, of that long list that I shared with you last week. That was it. I did not cast on Olivia the Elephant, which was also out of my Knitted Wild Animal Friends, because I want to get the Charlie the Chimpanzee's jacket done first. So I really need to focus on getting that done. And then I'll cast on Olivia the Elephant. And I think last week I called her Ophelia the Elephant. It's Olivia the Elephant. So yes, so she will be cast on. I also was going to start doing my bunting for my office. I was back there and up here and all this. I was gonna use my leftover yarns from like this and stuff to do little bunting triangles, and then yeah, I didn't have enough to do this, but I decided since I didn't have enough to do this that when I cast on the first one, I can use some other yarn that I had finished for another project before Christmas in July and just do the first one out of that. So, but I have not done that yet, and I will cast that on, I don't know when, but I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna get done. So, all right, let's talk about stash enhancements. I have one. Okay, hang on. Dipping down. There. Sorry for the crinkle. All right, I'm going to show you this, and hopefully you've already got yours and you've always opened yours, or always, you've already opened yours. So if not, if you get the Freckled Whimsy Yarn of the Month and you have not opened yours yet, what are you waiting for? Go open it. No, actually, if you don't want to see it, just look away here, okay? Here we go. Sorry, crinkle, crinkle. And I do the 80 gram main skein and then the 25 gram mini. And here it is. That is beautiful. I do the Serendipity base, and the colorway name, it's 8 stripe repeat, it's Puddle Jumping. That's beautiful. So this will go in the Lucky Dip bag, and I will possibly pull it out this month. So I hope to have another Lucky Dip, like reach in, pull it out type thing. Lucky Dip party, we'll call it, next week. So stay tuned. All right, so that was acquisition number 1, or stash enhancement number 1. That's all I got so far, okay? That's so far. I did order some yarn to get to do Atticus's cardigan, which is a must knit for Christmas. So I've ordered that. I just ordered some knit picks, and I can't even remember which one it was, so I'll tell you when it gets here. Hopefully it'll be here next week. Their shipping's getting kind of slow, if you ask me. I don't know. It just seems the few times I've ordered from them, they've been really fast, and I ordered this like last weekend and I still don't have it, and they're only in Nevada, which is really close to Colorado, so we'll see. They just recently got bought out, so. I also, as long as we're talking about things that I bought that I don't have yet, I also maybe bought another Advent. I bought the Woolens and Nosh. It's a self-striping sock yarn Advent, so it's just one skein, but she does it in these little bags. They're like in little canvas bags, so you can only see, like, it's a surprise the whole way through. You're not supposed to open the bags. You just have the yarn sticking out and you just pull it out as you knit. So I went ahead and got that. She had some issues, like I've never ordered from Woolens and Nosh, but I'm on her mailing list, and she had some issues with, she couldn't get her yarn for the summer, I guess, like her supplier issues. So she just upped the number of skeins she's going to do for Advent, and so she had like a second release of Advent. So I was like, I'm going to do that self-striping, and it's a skein of yarn, so it's not a whole lot. I bought a regular 24-day Advent. I think I had the Freckled Whimsy, of course, and now this one. I'd like to say I'm done, but you know what's going to happen is we get closer to the holidays, someone's going to come out with another Advent, and I'm going to be like, oh, I need that one too. So guaranteed that'll happen. All right, so that's it as far as stash enhancements. So not bad, right? Okay. I will say this. I'm gonna I'm not gonna say I'm stopping buying yarn, but my storage area for my yarn is now like the yarn is escaping from it. So I feel like I need to use up some of my stash. I also have my wall or my door over there with the hooks, and I have bags on there with yarn in them that I'm gonna do for certain projects. That door is now like not wanting to be flush against the wall when you open it. So that's a sign that I need to start knitting and stop buying yarn. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna stop, but I'm just being mindful. Okay. All right, as long as we're at that point, let's talk about state of the stash. All right, let's just remind everyone where I was. Just so you know, I started the year with 459.43 skeins of yarn. Okay, I don't know what that is in yards and grams and all that stuff. I'm not that anal. I have brought in, just in this month, well, in June, brought in 26 skeins of yarn. I did go traveling though, so that counts. That 26 skeins of yarns is the equivalent of 5,832.8 yards. I was anal there. Which is 1,560 grams, or 3.31 miles. It's a lot of yarn. Hopefully that number will go down now. All right, as far as yarns out for June, I used 2.5 skeins of yarn. So yeah, big difference there, big difference. The 2.5 skeins was equivalent of 761.5 or 185 grams or 0.4 miles. So yeah, lot coming in, not as much going out. So currently I am sitting at 481.92 skeins of yarn. Just so you know, I count all the 100-gram skeins as one skein. I have been counting minis as a skein, so that, you know, I mean, I guess I could take the minis and figure out, you know, just go, okay, this is 100 grams worth of minis, so that's one skein, and, you know, just do the math differently, but I'm just, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's the goal of the year is to kind of end up where I started. Questionable, very questionable whether that will happen this year. I don't think it's ever happened, just so you know. It just, yeah. I like to collect yarn, okay? I like to collect colorful, beautiful hand-dyed yarn. So, yeah, what can I say? All right, that's it as far as the knitty content. So we're gonna talk briefly about life stuff and wrap it up, and yeah. So if you're not sticking around, if you wanna find me on other places or you wanna reach out, you can email me at BobbleHeadKnits@gmail.com. I am not on I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on Blue Sky or any of those X or any of that, but you could reach out, like I said, email. I'm also on Ravelry as BobbleHeadKnits, so you can find me there also. And you can message me. I usually check Ravelry once a day because I'm obsessive like that. So feel free to message me there. And yeah, okay. We're coming up on 100 episodes, so we might do something special for the 100th. We'll see. But just keep that in mind. Now, if you're leaving, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. For those of you who are sticking around, we're going to talk a little bit about life stuff. As I said, it is 4th of July here. This is the first time I have been in the U.S. for 4th of July, probably 6 years or so. I do not like 4th of July. I will be very upfront with you. It is hot. People are blowing things up. Or as I said the other day, stop blowing shit up, people. I mean, that is what's happening out there. And it's been going on for weeks now. In the evening, the kids in the neighborhood, and it's driving me and the dogs nuts. So that's why I leave the country every year, but no, I'm here this year. Yeah, so it's not my favorite holiday. I don't want to go watch fireworks. They annoy me. So, yeah. All right, and this year in particular, given the state of the U.S., I am not in the patriotic spirit, so yeah. All right, I have been off though. I only worked 4 days this week, yeah. And so I was off yesterday, Thursday. I will work on Sunday, but then I'm off again on Monday. So it's been a crazy work schedule-wise. Yeah, so yesterday I was off and I knit all day. I knit on that brioche cowl and then I ripped it out. So yeah, my plan to knit all day happened, but then I didn't have a whole lot to show for it because I wasn't happy with it. So yeah, that was not fun. I did go last week after I recorded. I did go do my contact fitting, so I have to go next week and pick up my trial contacts, which my prescriptions changed a little. And then yeah, just eye stuff. I also next week have a doctor's appointment with my diabetes doctor because my diabetes is going nuts. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Other things going on. My garden is doing very well. I may try to do a little footage of my garden and tack it on here. Some of it's doing really well, some of it not so well. But this is the first time we've gardened in this house, and we're doing all container gardening. And so I'm able to move the containers around, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Is I figure out that some things don't like certain spots because of the sun. There are parts of, actually my whole yard gets a ton of sun, and because it's been so hot, there are some plants doing better than others. So yeah, I might do a little footage at the end if you want to watch that. We'll see. What else? Not much. Atticus has been, my grandson, he's been hanging out over here. I got him a inflatable swimming pool for summer, and so he's been over here every day. He's 2. So after his nap, he comes over and usually plays in the pool and eats a little snack and terrorizes. They're just, at 2, they're little tyrants. So I mean that in the most loving way. He is coming over today, and he just lives like I joke that we live in a compound. We do. I mean, he's back and forth between the houses all the time. So he'll be over later today. And we introduced him to popsicles. Not the sugary kind though. He loved them, and he's walking around. I might insert a picture of him somewhere here. He had popsicle over, and did he have a shirt on? I don't know if he had a shirt on, but he wasn't wearing pants, and he had like popsicle juice all over, and yeah. The nice thing about that is then we just stuck him in the pool and rinsed him off. So, but he's walking around going, popsicle, yeah. So, yes. What else? Nothing really. This weekend we did not make any plans because I don't want to leave my dogs alone with people shooting things off. Yeah. In the past, when we travel a lot, and we usually have my daughter or son, someone's here, so the dogs have been fine. But now this year, since I'm here on 4th of July, I feel bad for the dogs. So yeah. Yeah, my neighbors, they are lighting things up all day. I mean, like 9 a.m. this morning, they were lighting things up. I'm like, stop it. So, okay, there's my rant. Okay, TV and books. No TV, really. I mean, my husband's been watching a few things I've not been watching. Books, I finished the book Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It was really good. It's a book about astronaut who she joins NASA in the 80s, and she is wants to be one of the first women to go to space. So she's actually the second woman to go to space. So she falls in love with a fellow astronaut. It's a love story, and it's just a good story. It's good. It's if you're into space and stuff, it's good because it talks a lot about NASA. So my husband's gonna read it because he loves all things related to space. So he is gonna read that. I've read Daisy Jones and the Six. Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote that, and that was really good. So I was like, oh, I'll read this and see, and it was as good as I hoped it would be. So I am almost done with Rose Matter by Stephen King. That's just an odd book. I mean, it's not one of his better books. I love Stephen King, but that one's not one of my favorite. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll be done with that by next week. All right, that's all I got. So everybody have a great week, and I will be back next week. And see you later. If you want to stick around, watch my garden footage. It's there. All right, thanks. Bye.